Hello, Law Geeks. Welcome back to CredenceLaw Learning. In today's video series, we are going to discuss syllabus analysis of Labor Law 1 along with its expected questions unit-wise. So in the Labor Law 1, first unit is about trade union. Trade union. Trade union was enacted in the year 1926 and it is to provide for the registration of trade unions with a view to render lawful organization of the laborers and also to enable them to have collective bargaining. So the trade union in total consists of 33 sections, 33 sections divided into 5 chapters. 33 sections divided into 5 chapters. And your chapter 2 is very important, which deals with registration of trade union. Chapter 2 is from section 3 to 14. And we have chapter 3, wherein it deals with section 15 to 28, but here section 15 and 16 is most important. Section 15 is general funds and 16 is constitution of separate fund for the political purpose. And then there is okay, these are the certain important questions from the second unit. Speaking of the important questions from the second unit, first important question would be to study the registration of the trade union, and then to study about the immunities, and then to study about the criminal and civil liabilities. Collective bargaining is important for the short note. General fund and political fund, section 15 and 16 is very important. And then we have second unit. When we talk about second unit, in the second unit, it's about Industrial Disputes Act. So when we talk about Industrial Disputes Act was enacted to maintain industrial peace and harmony by providing a framework for investigation and settlement of industrial disputes in India. And this act also aims to ensure social justice for both employers and employee, to promote amicable resolutions, prevent illegal strikes and lockouts. This act is also provide protection to workers from unfair practices and provide relief during layoff and retrenchment. And this is the very objective of the act. And when we talk about the Trade Unions Act, sorry, it's not the trade union, it's industrial dispute. So when we talk about Industrial Disputes Act, in total it consists of 40 sections divided into 7 chapters. So chapter 2 is important, which deals with authorities under the act. Chapter 2 is important. Definition to the term industry is important. And when individual disputes become industrial dispute is important. And then we have the concept of, okay, these are the important things from the first unit. So when we talk about second unit, from the second unit, okay, these are the certain expected questions from the second unit. Define the term industry, and then definition to the term appropriate government, and then to define industrial dispute, and then to write about the case studies which proves hospital to be industry, and educational institution to be industry. So here unit 3 is a continuation of unit 2. So unit 3 is a continuation of unit 2, that is industrial dispute. In the unit 2, it deals with the concept of strike, lockout, layoff, retrenchment. Now the question is, what is a strike? Like, when strike is considered to be illegal? Strike is considered to be illegal if a person breaches the contract. In case if we go on a strike without giving a notice to the employer, and here the employees are not supposed to go on a strike within 14 days of giving notice, and during the pendency of the conciliation they are not supposed to go for a strike. So these are the certain important concepts from the third unit. So when we talk about third unit, okay, so this is about the third unit. Important questions from the third unit: to define lockout, layoff, retrenchment, closure, and then arbitration, appropriate government, and then layoff. And it is just a quick information about the classes available. If you are in need of notes, classes, guidance, you can contact to the number given, 7019560214. And then we have chapter 4. Chapter 4 is about Employees Compensation Act as Employee State Insurance Act. So Employees Compensation Act was enacted in 1926, and this act enacted to provide for the payment, where it provides payment to the employees in case of injury by accident. So here we have 36 sections in total, divided into 4 chapters. Chapter 2 is about employees' compensation. When we talk about chapter 3, there is section 3, which talks about the conditions where the compensation is paid. So 4 conditions to be fulfilled before the employee seeks the compensation. Number 1, there must be the personal injury, and this personal injury must have been caused as the result of an accident. And then accident must have been arisen out of and in course of employment, and this injury has either resulted in the death or the disablement which exceeded for more than 3 days. So these are the basic requirements to claim the compensation. And then commissioner is important from the Employees Compensation Act. Commissioner is given on chapter 3 from 19 to 31. And then we have State Insurance Act of 1948. So State Insurance Act in total consists of 100 sections divided into 8 chapters. The very objective of the State Insurance Act is to provide for certain benefits to employees in case of sickness, maternity, and employment injury. And the benefits, very important question from this part is benefits, which is covered in chapter 5, containing sections from 46 to 73. It talks about the benefits: sickness benefit, maternity benefit, disablement benefit, dependent benefit, then medical benefit, funeral benefit. And then these are the certain important questions from the 4th unit. And then we have from the 4th unit, very important question would be to prepare for the benefits available under the ESI Act and the compensation, the basic requirements to be fulfilled before the compensation is sought. And that is the 4th unit. And speaking of the 5th unit, we have first act is payment of wages. Payment of wages Act was enacted to regulate the payment of wages to certain classes of employed person, and as laid down in case of Aravind Mills Limited versus RG Gadgil, where in this case the court said the very purpose of the act is to provide employed a person to pay the wages in a particular form and a particular interval without any unauthorized deduction. So there are certain deductions which are permissible in nature, which is mentioned under Section 7, the permissible deductions, which is very important. And then we have Factories Act. Factories Act was enacted in 1948 to ensure the welfare of the factory workers and to regulate their working conditions, and to provide safety hygiene provisions. And it also deals with the issues related to the working hours, holidays, and leaves. And this act is applicable on those factories where 10 or more workers are employed where power is used, where 20 or more workers are employed where power is not used. So very important is to prepare for chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5. Chapter 3 is health provisions from section 11 to 20. Chapter 4 is safety provisions from 21 to 41. And chapter 5 is welfare measures, which deals from section 42 to 50. So these are the certain expected questions from the unit 5. And then if you are in need of classes, and if you need properly structured notes, you can contact to the number given. See you all in the next lecture. All the best for your upcoming exam.